The Seven Principles of Design. The Seven Principles of Design is a representation of how the artist used the elements of art to create an effect and therefore help convey the artist's intent. These principles are balance, proximity, unity, alignment, repetition, contrast, and negative space. Today, I'm only going to talk about 4 of these principles. First, I'm going to talk about balance. Balance is an imaginary line that divides the page either horizontally or vertically, to then have visual elements placed so they are either symmetrical or asymmetrically balanced. As shown in the top right corner of the screen, there are 2 trees, one that is symmetrical and one that is asymmetrical. The symmetrical design on the left is always a pleasing look, if not occasionally boring, while the asymmetrical design on the right is bolder and can bring a real visual interest and movement to one's composition. The example is the bridge photograph. The image to the right has a symmetrical balance. In the photograph, the bridge creates depth and leads the viewer's eyes through the image. On to alignment. Alignment refers to the lining up of top, bottom, sides, or middle of text or graphic elements on a page. An example of this horizontal alignment, which is also called left, justified, or ragged right. These also pertain to the right side, which is known as right justified or ragged left. The right image below portrays this very well. When the blocks are not aligned, the image looks wonky and out of proportion. But when the blocks are aligned, then the image seems clearer and proportional. An example of this in the real world is the brand Adidas. If you notice when the 3 black lines are not aligned, then you cannot tell what the logo is. When the 3 lines are lined up from smallest to largest, one can tell right off the bat what the logo is. Grouping. Grouping is where in design that objects near each other are seen as a unit. They are close enough together where the items are connected or have some sort of relationship to each other. The image to the right of the brand Unilever is a great example. If you look closely, you can see in the capital U that there are specific animals and other living things, like a dove, a bumblebee, a palm tree, the list goes on. If all those figures were separate, it would be confusing, but when they are grouped together in a certain way, they make the letter U for the brand logo, as well as being an interesting design. Next is consistency. Consistency is simply when there is a process of repeating elements in a design. This can also have several pieces that then give a unified look. It adds a sense of consistency to the design. For example, let's take another brand like Target. They use a consistent color and shape to help viewers immediately associate an advertisement with their store. The concentric circles of the Target logo help to reiterate their brand. Finally, contrast. Contrast refers to the arrangement of opposite types of elements like light versus dark colors, large versus small shapes, smooth textures versus rough textures, etc. This gives the piece some excitement and visual interest. If you look below, the company Apple is trying to sell their product, the iPod. They use the contrast of a bold green with a black silhouette of the woman dancing with a jet white product, the iPod. One's eye goes straight to the jarring white object in her hand. The juxtaposition of all the elements makes the viewer look exactly at what the company wants one to buy. After seeing what is in the woman's hand, one wants to know what it is. Again, the white appears with the Apple logo and the product name. Those are just 4 of the 7 principles of design that I have described for you today.